It's September 11th, the 24th anniversary of the terrorist attack on us, in which planes flew into and destroyed the World Trade Center, killing thousands of people. Another plane crashed into the Pentagon, killing people. And in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, Flight 93 crashed into the ground. And that was thanks to the passengers on board saying, "We're not going to let the terrorists hit the Capitol building or the White House. We're going to stop this." And they did. And I remember where I was, as I know that many people also remember where they were when the attack occurred. It was a shock. It was devastating. It was traumatic watching some of the scenes. Um, I had just been to the World Trade Center with some friends and two of my three children. We were attending a Dark Shadows convention there. And it was the last time I saw the Trade Center buildings, the last time that I was in the hotel. All of those places were destroyed. The Trade Center was such a landmark for such a long time. We could see it. I remember when my first husband was in the hospital, when he was experiencing um, atrial fibrillation. And, he was in the hospital, and from the visitor area windows, we could look out, and in the distance, we could see the World Trade Center. And it's always been impressive, as well as the Empire State Building. And it was a shock. And here we are again. This whole week has been a shock to the system. Um, every week it just seems to get worse and worse. I guess it will continue to get worse and worse, even as some people are just becoming numb to everything and just, well, this is the way it's going to be. But we we will not obey in advance. We will not bow to fascism. This is all a roundabout way of talking about recent violence, political violence. Okay, so yesterday, Charlie Kirk, a young man who was very instrumental in mobilizing and organizing young voters to go with the convicted felon. I didn't agree with his viewpoints. He did go out and was willing to debate with people, and that's what he was doing when someone shot him from about 200 feet away, I guess. I'm guessing it was a sniper, and killed him instantly. This should not happen to anybody in this country just for saying their opinion. Okay, I don't like Charlie Kirk. I don't like his message. I don't agree with him. But he has the right to say what he thinks and what he believes. And if the MAGA people want to go along with that, that's their business too. I mean, I think they're all wrong, misguided, but it's their right. Now, we've been having a lot of violence against people because of their political viewpoints. And yes, we had assassinations galore in the 60s and even in the 70s when George Wallace was shot at the Laurel Shopping Center. But truthfully, this violence against children, against political people, against anybody is wrong. And it all boils down to the availability of these weapons of mass destruction, I'll call them, because people that use these automatic weapons on other people are literally blowing them to pieces. That's what some of these bullets do. Um, you don't even want to know what automatic weapons do to the bodies of children. You don't even want to know that. I don't understand why anybody would need to own a weapon that normally a soldier would carry into war. Um, don't even tell me about hunting. If you go hunting with an automatic rifle or a gun, you must be shooting at a Yeti, because anything else is going to cause the same kind of horrible damage to an animal that it does to a child or an adult. These automatic weapons, the bullets just, they blow bodies apart. And people just have been saying for years and years and years and years, it's not the guns, it's not the guns, it's not the guns. And that's a lot of bullshit. It is the guns. It's not just mental illness, it's the availability of the guns, especially these automatic weapons. I don't understand why the hunters and the other people uh, who do own guns are so rabid about having to have an automatic weapon at their disposal. I mean, what is the automatic weapon for except to kill people and to kill them explosively? Um, so, yeah, it's been a difficult week, very difficult week. I still have an infection in my ankle. I'm not able to put my shoe on because a part of it is like right at the back where the back of your shoe would rest. It's too painful to wear the shoe. So I'm off work now until October the 6th. And it is going to be a disaster. And I don't know how we're going to make it through this. Meantime, I am applying um, left and right for online positions because I have to be able to do something, or we're just not going to be able to make it here in this house. So, my mood is very subdued today, and it was already because of 9/11. But then on top of that, it's this new political violence, and um, MAGA right away is jumping to, well, it's the left, the liberal left party that is responsible for political violence. And I have seen some from the uh, other side, the Democratic side, counter arguing with, yeah, well, what about all of the acts of violence perpetrated by MAGA followers? And I think they have a point about that. They really do. But I think that what we ought to be doing now is, instead of pointing fingers at one group of people or another, we really ought to be trying to get together and have a serious conversation about this. And my mood is also subdued because that's not going to happen, not with this Congress. The people that are either entranced by or fearful of the convicted felon will never come to the table to talk with the Democratic Party about finding a solution to all of the violence that's going on. Now, here's the interesting thing. Okay, so we have these troops, these National Guardsmen now that are in cities where the crime level has gone down. And then, meanwhile, in places where there is a lot of crime and violence, that's not where they're being sent to. No, they're only being sent to the cities where the crime level has come down. It's a waste of resources. I think of all that we could accomplish if only we could put our resources together and work cooperatively. That would be the ideal, but that's not going to happen. Not with this administration. They've made it very clear that they're all about cruelty and getting revenge. And that's not what I'm about at all. This is so tiring. It's energy draining. It's bad enough to worry about your own financial situation, your own health situation, to cope with not being able to do all of the things that you used to be able to do, worrying about your Social Security and Medicare. All of that is bad enough without having all of the breaking of the Constitution going on in the country and no one doing anything to stop it. I mean, the Democratic leadership continues to roll over and play dead. They can keep asking me for a donation all they want. They can turn themselves blue in the face. And I have not given them one red cent until I see them start to organize and to speak up united. I mean, it's just a Democrat here and a Democrat there. And really, it ought to be the Democratic leadership is the head, and everybody is following along. This is what MAGA does. This is what the convicted felons party is doing. They're all united, and we don't have that because the Democratic leadership doesn't. They don't do anything except say milk toasty things like we're going to send a strongly worded letter. Big fucking deal. I mean, it has to, I mean, even with citizens protesting now and objecting to the government that we have, the Democrats still seem to be sound asleep. It's like, wake up and do something, you idiots. I don't know. I just don't know.